Back with PC Athletic Director Bob Driscoll. I'm Vin Parisi for the home stretch here of Friar's All Access. We're now joined by the founder of one of the top blogs in the Big East right now, FriarBasketball.net, Kevin Farrahar. Terrific job, Kevin. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Vin.
Well, I want to go back to the history. How did this site start, and what makes you so passionate about it?
Sure. Well, I really, I wanted to have a site for quite a long time. I really just kind of stumbled upon Blogger, which made it really easy to start my own website. So just about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I started the site thinking, I'll try it for a month or two, see if I can get an audience. And before I knew it, started growing and growing and growing. And it's been great. Over the last year, I wrote, in 2011, I wrote over 300 articles.
Wow.
We had 40 in January, so there's a lot of content out there. And I've always just been a huge PC fan. I graduated in 2001.
So you are a grad?
I am a PC grad. Yeah, I just had a great experience there. Loved the school, and it did so much for me as a person. So and loved the program. Really excited with the direction of it. So excited going forward.
And I'll tell you what, the reality of college basketball right now, Twitter, blogs, the internet, there's just as many people reading his site as any newspaper in New England. That's the day we live in.
Yeah, and it's instantaneous access. I was on his site a short time ago, and I learned some things I didn't know. So information is obviously power, and to have somebody like Kevin who loves the college, that has a perspective and is excited about the future, it really helps us, because it's all about messaging. And sometimes you get some negative stuff, but that's well deserved as well. So I appreciate it very much.
And this has to be a dream come true for you with Ed Cooley being the head coach, because and you've been up here for a long time. The buzz right now in Friar Town is immense.
It is. I was just saying to Bob before we came on, both what he's done with the team right now, you look at where they were at the beginning of the year, struggling against teams like Fairleigh Dickinson, to now, they lost yesterday, but they played really tough against West Virginia. They played Georgetown tough, Syracuse tough. They come a long way. And then, from a recruiting standpoint, what you'll find in my site is a lot of recruiting information. And he's just absolutely blowing people away in the recruiting trail. So it's been really great to see.
You're right about that. Just buzz all the way around. And your site lets us into a lot of different worlds. You mentioned the recruiting. Another thing, the interaction with the fans. Guys writing you, message boards, a lot of interaction and communication. What has been the feedback by the fan base overall?
People are just really excited. There's a different kind of energy. I think obviously Bob has heard as well. There's just such an energy around Coach Cooley, his personality. I think people really just have a lot of faith in kind of the power of his personality. And that's what you hear most of all. You'll get all sorts of questions about recruiting and how the team's faring now, but it all kind of comes back to just that personality that Ed Cooley is.
What's the balance between, you look to the future, everyone's excited about the recruiting. Bob and I have already talked about that, and everyone's so pumped about the future Friar basketball under Ed Cooley, but frustrated with the tough losses of this year. How's the fan base split amongst that topic?
I don't think they're that frustrated, to be honest. I think people understood coming in, you lost to Marshawn Brooks, you had a really inexperienced team, and I think the one thing Cooley's done, which I think the fans really understand, is you look at the growth that certain players have made, like a Bryce Cotton or Gerard Coleman yesterday. He had kind of a rough stretch for a while, but bounced back with a 30-point game, or Bilal Dixon. I think fans were more looking at the improvement of the team versus the win-loss record, and they're playing well. They're playing hard, they're playing well, and again, you kind of balance that with the recruiting that folks are so excited about, and I think people are pretty optimistic.
Well, keep up the tremendous work. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thanks to Kevin. Make sure you check out his site, FriarBasketball.net, one of the best in the Big East. Also, special thank you to my partner today,
Thanks,
AD Bob Driscoll. We'll get him back here soon. Ed Cooley will be back next week on Friars All Access. Thanks for joining us, folks. Do not forget to follow us on Twitter @Cox Sports. Thank you to the folks in New York for SNY, and check us out online as well, Cox Sports Online. We'll see you next week.